Hi, I'm Jen Baer, the waltzing real estate agent on the Doloff team with eXp Realty here in New Hampshire. And today I am going to share with you a drive I took from the border of Massachusetts north on Route 121 to Hampstead, Route 111. It takes about 8 minutes. It's actually a US or New Hampshire Scenic Byway. And I will go ahead and let you know some things about New Hampshire. I'm here to share all the pros and cons of my home state. So if that's something that you're interested in, you'd like to see more videos like this, please do me a favor and like and subscribe to this video, and that helps with the whole YouTube algorithm, get my video out to more people and hopefully somebody that I can help. There's the sign. We are now entering Plastow, New Hampshire. So we just left Haverhill, Massachusetts. Now we're in Plastow, New Hampshire. We won't be here very long. It changes over to Atkinson really soon. I think the town line's at the railroad tracks. That makes sense to me. But as you can see, we have beautiful flowering trees. It's that beautiful part of spring that we all wait for in New England. That big barn you see on the left is Dover Saddlery. It used to be State Line Pet and State Line Tack. I used to shop at both those places. State Line Pet still exists. It's just further into Plastow. So there's the railroad tracks. Thought I would go ahead and show you those. And then as soon as we come back over the bridge, there's a sign that says, "Welcome to the town of Atkinson." And to the right of that is their community center. There's a few more businesses up here on the left and right. Eggy's Diner. I'm not sure. I think there's somewhere along here too, there's a diving school, which I thought was really cool. But yes, this is more of like a business district since we're leaving Plastow. And then it's going to start to get more residential, but you'll definitely see some historic properties. Again, this is recently added as one of the New Hampshire Scenic Byways, which I think is really interesting. It actually goes all the way through Hampstead, but that'll be a separate video. This one I'm just going to go from Plastow or through Atkinson to Hampstead. So as you can see here on either side of the road, you might see stone walls. Typical in New England that if you see those and they look older, that they're probably from when this used to be farmland. And when they'd be plowing the fields and come across a rock, they would put it on the side of their property, and it started to define their property lines as well as the roads between the properties. So as you can see in New England, our roads can be very curvy and windy. Sometimes they're even cow paths. On the right here is a community of new construction. There's actually a couple along this route. So it's a kind of a nice mix of having these historic homes and new construction. The sign coming up is pointing to turn to go to the Atkinson Country Club, which is a great facility, not just for golf, but they also hold events there. I know Wyndham's having their prom there shortly. So that's a great business to have, great place in Atkinson. We can see some more stone walls. This is coming up to one of my favorite parts of this drive, but as you can see why they would have it as a scenic byway, because it is a really nice drive. You get these areas of trees and then it will open up to fields, and you'll see a couple of those as well coming up. In front of us there is Stage Road. I think this road possibly used to go that direction because that comes back out. Sometimes you'll see that too, where roads fork and they come back around, and you know that's more residential over there. So this road is also a double yellow. This is my favorite part. Look at the shadows and the sun. Just really fun to drive through. But yes, the double yellow, so you can't pass because you can't see that far ahead. So I think this whole byway up through even Hampstead is going to be a double yellow. If it's dotted, that means you can pass. I'm not sure if it's the same in every state. But yeah, these trees are going to part momentarily and we're gonna have a field. I love this view coming up straight ahead. You can see an older property, and then behind that is the church, the Atkinson Congregational Church. But yes, there's some older properties on the right. And then on the left, as I pan over here to show you this beautiful field, I spot Bigfoot. My kids love that. That old house right there on the right has a historic marker on it. So I looked it up, and it was built in 1766, and it's called the Cogswell House. So you'll see a lot of those plaques on these houses as well. I don't know the age for the church, but a lot of them in this area are, 1800s. And there's another older looking farmhouse, very traditional architecture. This is now the town center. So we're going through, this is Dow Common. And to the right is the fire station, the library and historical society, and that's the cemetery. Oh, and that's the Scenic Byway sign. It has a stagecoach on it. I think they're different for different regions, but this one going up through Hampstead is the Stagecoach. And you can also adopt a highway. That was what that sign was. If you wanted to, as a business or a family, adopt a section of the highway here that you're going to keep clean and pick up litter. That's, something I definitely want to look into with my family. Now, there's more new construction on the right, and then on the left, this house is a very Federal Regency style architecture. So I was estimating in my head it was 1800. It was actually built in 1737. So it was still during the Colonial Period, but it was actually a little bit earlier for that style house. That's a beautiful. Oh, and that's the town pound. So you'll see those here in New England where there's like a stone wall in a square or a circle, and it will have a sign that will say Atkinson Town Pound, Hampstead Town Pound. Every town seemed to have their town pound, and it actually was for animals. So it's when your farm animals, the farmers would get loose and they would get rounded up and brought to the pound, and then you had to pay a fee, especially if they damaged any other farmer's property. You had to pay that before you could get your animals back. It was also used if you actually didn't pay your taxes. They would come and take your animals and bring them to the pound, and then you had to either come and pay your taxes to get the animals back, or they would just sell the animals to make the money back. So the town pound was a very important place in our history here in New England. I once took care of pigs, and I can tell you it was really hard to keep those pigs fenced in the spring. They really wanted to go out and have some fun, and when they're like 300-400 pounds, you really can't stop them. So every town you actually had a designated pig catcher, not a dog catcher, but a pig catcher, who would catch the pigs and round them up and bring them to the pound, which that's another whole story on how to catch a pig. All right, so here again, we have some beautiful fields opening up. On the left, there's going to be Island Pond Road, which you can take to go over to Route 111 further west, or go into Salem. But that's a farm stand right here. That farm has a farm stand with vegetables and eggs. I love going there, stopping on my way to my ballroom job and picking up some vegetables before I head to Salem. And we're coming up to the Hampstead town line, but I wanted to pan over here because I could see the cows were out with horses. My favorite palominos out there right now. I love watching them. And this is the town line with Hampstead. So you can see the sign right there. So now we have a pizza place over there, a chocolate shop. There's a fitness center going in, a veterinary clinic. And then to the right in this big building is the Sweet Baby Vineyard. And their vines are growing in the back there. They have a tasting room that you can go and taste the wines and spend a nice either date night or some time with friends there. It's a great place to have in town. And here's our junction with Route 111. So if you go to the right here on 111, it'll bring you east to the seacoast. Left will bring you to Wyndham and Route 93, which then brings you north to Concord or south back into Massachusetts. I hope everybody has a wonderful week. Hustle on, my friends, and I will see you next time.